All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. And give this like a second or two to warm up, and we're just gonna jump right into it. Looks like we've got a busy day ahead of us today. Let me just make sure the stream's working, make sure the chat's working, and morning. Good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I've got. Let's see. I believe it's this one. All right, I've got to pull up my futures chart real quick because I don't believe it opened. And we're just going to jump right into it. Welcome. My name is Dark Pool Algo, and today is Friday, August 20th, 2021, and it is Lotto Friday. After a crazy week in the stock market where the Fed spoke twice, they've decided to go take a trip to Jackson Hole for the next couple days. Anytime the Fed speaks, it has a tendency to move the market, and there's a couple key levels that we need to look at. Most importantly, every time the ES or the NQ come back and tap the 50-day, they seem to have a nice reactionary move off of it. The 50 days seem to have held. However, in a larger context, I believe that the retrace to the mean of the NDX and NQ yesterday could be a potential glimpse into a longer term fade. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and grab my chart. Where did it go? Maybe it's this one. Yes, it is. I found it. So happy about that. We're going to go ahead and detach that guy. And then we're going to pull up my stream one. It's going to be a little slow, and there's a lot of data being through. Morning, morning, morning. SPY, IBT. Gotcha. I gotcha. Let me just get my chart loaded up. And let's take a look at futures. Always start your day off by looking at the futures, because you never know what could have happened overnight that's going to definitely affect the market. Futures are obviously the biggest influencer of what happens to your individual stocks and options, and it's always important to know what's going on. So looking at the ES, it looks like we faded a little bit down to key level 43.75. Looks like we might be trying to make a little reversal, higher lows, made a higher high, and now we're kind of just getting stuck right here at this midpoint. Right. I'm just going to zoom in on this a little bit so that everybody can see what's going on. So we're getting stuck right at the midpoint. That's a pretty key level. Moving over to the YM, very similar thing. Chopped around all day yesterday. Sloughed off a little bit last night. Broke mid-level, came back down, tested open range low, or pivot low. And looks like it's trying to start a little bit of a... So it looks like it's trying to start a movement back up to the upside. All right, I'll adjust this later. Dang it, I thought it was already set. I gotta do it now. Let's do this. ZZ. Morning futures. We'll call it that. For some reason, I thought this style would have stuck with all of them, but it didn't. All right, so back to the YM. It looks like it dropped, popped, kind of chopping around a little bit. NQ, this is that pullback. This move to 14,997. I was a one tick off. I said 14,998, I believe. A little kiss of the 21 EMA on the daily. This is a pullback. I'm really going to be watching for this level here to maintain. I believe if we gap up and open high, we may fade back to levels of support. If those levels break, look for continuation down, right? The Russell, it looked like it was trying to recover so hard yesterday, and then it just got smacked and continued to sell off. Currently trading at yesterday's lows. 2120 is going to be a key level of resistance for the Russell. All right, it's not looking super good for the Russell. It's got this little falling channel that it can't seem to get out of. Gold, with a nice strong pop pre-market yesterday, it made a new high and immediately started to sell off. Came back down, bounced around support for a little bit, and it looks like it's trying to make a move in pre-market. It has not taken out the pre-market high yet, so we're going to keep an eye on gold at the open for potential fade. Oil, oh man, oil's just having a rough time. The crude futures currently broke below yesterday's low, so look for crude to continue to move downwards. Now, any of the crude stocks like Oxy and USO, Chevron, Valero, any of those may have a good opportunity to either dip by if we can get this to find some support somewhere, or you can continue to fade those off. Okay. Bonds are continuing to move up. Bonds are making a bull flag pattern on this 5-minute, which is interesting because typically when bonds go up, the market goes down, and vice versa. ES making a new rip today, like it just broke the mid-level point and is surging. I don't know if we had some news come out. Let me see if I can find something, but there's something definitely influencing this market right now, and let's see if we've got anything here. See if we've got anything here. Retail sales came through. Is that what it was? 4.2 core retail sales. That's not bad. Canada retail sales raised by 40.2% in June. That's good for Canada, right? Let's see if there's anything. I guess it's just the retail sales news. Well, if that's the case, then we should look at maybe some retail sectors. Small caps. Where's Russell? Russell did react off of that. Okay. And then finally, the yen is just chopping around over on the right-hand side. The yen is just kind of chopping around, slowly making higher lows, and it looks like it's starting to pull back. Okay, I'm going to move this chart over here, and wow, this looks different. This is my Friday stream chart. Never fear, I've got my regular one over here. I was just doing some tutorial series last night, and we'll just get that loaded back up. So hit me up with requests if you have anything. If not, I am going to go ahead and look at some of the ones that I'm super interested in today. Mainly Futu. Those Chinese stocks are all at a very key level. Oh, wow. This is a nice move for futures overnight. Very nice move. I don't have news, do I? Don't have any news up. All right. This is the FlowTrade Smart Money Dark Pool and Block Trade algorithm software. I'm going to look at SPY, ABT, Bibby. You mean Billy? Well, first of all, morning, Chevy Drop Top, Covas, Lazaro, Terry, Travis. Terry, welcome. Travis, good morning, morning. Travis, let me know if you've got anything before you get off to work, and I'll get that taken care of right now. Pull my charts back to the 15-minute and bring this over here, see if Quant Data's got anything going on. All right, lots of SPX this morning, or last night. This morning we've got just seeing if there's any morning action. Maybe I'm actually able to see blocks and lit pulls at 5 o'clock. Well, 5 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time, Eastern. Looks like American Airlines had a massive level. $10 million block trade came through on American Airlines. SNY, an $11 million. Looks like it was a sell, possibly. HMC, $6 or $6 million buy. IRWD looks like a $5 million sell. And that's pretty much it for right now. All right. Gotta get all my charts loaded. I want to look at. All right, so NDX, which is it did what I thought it was going to do. It faded off to the 34, back tested to the 21 EMA, and it's currently trading 14.93394. It's trying to make a move. Let's just see if the 4-hour has anything to say about it. All right, so this is that sloughing off to the weekly mid, retrace back to the 21-day EMA, formed doji. So at this point, it's either going to continue to move up, right, or it may do a head fake and continue to move down, right? It looks like the squeeze fired to the downside. MACD crossed over to the downside. We just need to keep an eye on it. NQ is ripping right now. I'm not seeing any news to associate that with it. So we're just going to keep an eye on that stuff. Definitely want to make sure that we pay attention to some of these key levels. It really does help if I have the right colored, or if I have the right candlesticks on. I try to... Oh. Alright. Oh, we're going to go... Alright, I'll fix all that later. But we're just going to keep an eye on it. It looks like it's trying to make a move back up to the upside. It's getting smacked in the head by the 34 EMA and 21 EMA, as well as that daily 21, currently trading below the daily 21 EMA. So this may be a head fake. Keep an eye out. Okay. All right. Yes. Chevy drop top. You're getting it. I love it. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. All right. So the requests are for SPY, Billy, Neo, and I'll look at Baba real quick, but I'm a lot more interested in Futu. I feel like they've got a little bit more room. Neo is at a good I think it's at a good buy level. I saw Neo moving in pre-market, so we're going to go ahead and check that out. All right, the SPY up here in the upper left-hand corner. Let's go. Let's get rid of some of these. There's just so many block levels. I'm just going to use the two that came in yesterday. So SPY is making a Wu-Tang pattern reversal. However, the algo is pointed down. Keep that in mind. We have a dark pool level that is currently providing support, coming in at 439.25. And that's this level here, right? Below that, we've got a regular block trade level that will provide a little bit of support if needed at 437.88. Keep those two levels on, noted someplace, because those will be significant and they are going to affect, like it did here, right? A little double bottom, trying to make this Wu-Tang pattern reversal, right? It doesn't count until it breaks that, and it looks as if though it rejected, but it is trying to find support right at this 439.79. As far as the SPY is concerned on the charts, with ES and NQ trying to make that little run, pre-market run. SPY's got the 200 overhead SMA at 440. It's going to be resistance. It's also got a VWAP coming in. This is a 15-minute chart. All right, see this wick right here? You can just pretty much guess it's going to range trade for most of the day, and that sucks. All right, we're going to keep an eye on that. That's a massive wiki range. Currently, SPY is moving with the ES, so the ES is making a move pre-market. SPY is currently running to the 50-day SMA. It's got VWAP overhead at 439.75. a break above pre-market highs, we immediately run into the 200-day simple moving average at 440.89. It's a sloping, right? It's sloping down, so if we were to draw the angle, right? So that's going to continue to move down. VWAP's going to continue to move over. We're going to get into a little bit of confluence there. Looking at the spider on the daily, this is what I meant. Every time the SPY comes down and touches this 50 SMA, I'm just gonna, right, we crossed it here, that every time price action comes down and hits this 50 SMA, it seems to reject. We do have a little bit more room to 433.52 as the 50-day SMA. So is this a cup and handle forming, or is it going to be rejected to come back down and truly kiss this 50-day SMA at 433.75, which would be excuse me, which would represent a move to -2 ATR, fall below VWAP, fall below POC. Okay, so lots of things happening with the SPY. We've got POC here. So that's POC. We've got highest volume VWAP is here. Just change that to right. Let me see. So this is VWAP. Highest volume. All right. And then this line up here is going to be POC daily volume. All right. So it's pretty close to that range bound line that I had drawn. We're just going to keep an eye on it. This is a nice strong move, but we've got to look out for rejection coming up. So we'll just keep an eye on it. For me to go long, it definitely needs to break above these key levels. Getting above 41, 41.40. Yeah, break above 41, then I'd look to go long on the SPY. That would represent a move on the ES, making a move to the upside, as probably breaking above the 21. Okay, SPY's done. I gotta get into some other ones. Okay, Billy. Oh, this poor little symbol. This is a gorgeous divergence. Overhead block trade resistance at 650. It's gonna be a shorter term target. Well, let me just check in pre-market. So overhead resistance, the algo is made this gorgeous bullish divergence, as you can see here. Only thing that's got me a little concerned is algo is a little bit curled around to down to the downside. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I need a drink. Bang, still waiting for you to sponsor me. All right, so the NQ is kind of making a little rising pennant. It's trying to make a move back up to 15,000. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It's making a little bit of a run. All right, Billy. Oh, poor little Billy. Poor little Billy boy. You guys want to keep an eye on the NQ. I did a video on this last night, so I'm not going to go super in depth with it. Just know that they had earnings. And every time after earnings, they have a tendency to run. This is a strong bullish candle. We're looking for a reversion to the mean, which would be at 82, right? However, VWAP and POC are coming in right at 79.50 to 80. Right, 79.50 to 80. It's this level here. Right. That's all the way up here. So that's a strong move back to the mean. I'm not exactly sure what the ATR is on Billy. Let's just find out if it even has the ability to make that kind of move in a day. All right. Just real quick so you guys can check in on what futures are doing. All right, over the mid, hit the mid, rejected. Use the mid for support NQ. RTY is trying to come up and test the mid. Gold selling off to the mid. Crude's continuing to sell off. Bonds still working on that bull flag from the last couple days. It's just a flagging. Right. It came up and it kissed it, but it was not able to break it. Right, so nice bull flag forming there, and the yen is selling off. So Russell's making a move. NQ's trying to make a move, right? NQ has got this overhead resistance it's about to run into. So we go from high to high. Extend this puppy to the right. Right, so it did break that overhead resistance, so I actually think this is probably a better. There we go. Still got a little room. 14,971. God, I'm so good on that. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Look for rejection at that level. On the NQ. And got to adjust my charts a little bit here, but look for a potential rejection there. All right. Moving back. I'm jumping back and forth a little bit just because I think it's important for everybody to become familiar with futures. So again, look at this move. Every time it, on Billy, every time I had earnings, it had a tendency to move after earnings. So Billy, looking at Billy. Where's our ATR? All right. About a $5 ATR. $6 ATR. So that would be a move to 70, which would be a retracement to the 8 EMA. Definitely think Billy has, right, 64. Right. So at 64 to 70, it could definitely come up and test previous highs. So Billy is actually going to be on watch for me, targeting, right, that's the initial short-term target. It's at 70, which is 1 ATR. Yeah, I think it can do it. I believe in Billy today. However, what happened? I'm still getting used to these trend spotter charts. All right, so need to take out pre-market highs at 64. 64, 62, a break above that. I'll look to take a position. Keep in mind that the 200 SMA is coming in at 66.75, so there may be some resistance there. All right, that is Billy. Neo. Poor Neo. Come on. I wish I could just manually input it. That's probably good. So Neo's got block trades at 37. That's going to provide resistance. 37, 37.50, and then about every 20 cents up from that. Like I said, I saw that it was trying to make a move pre-market. This is a pretty significant move. 75-cent move pre-market. It has broken above VWAP, right? It's tweezer topping, so look for a pullback at the open to VWAP at 36.29. It's got above the 50 SMA. It's starting to untangle its moving averages. It looks as if though a squeeze may have released. Currently pretty oversold, right? I do like this play. I'm calling 36, 32 as support. So look for a pop, drop, and lock it. Got it. Let me just show you what that looks like. Even though it's not Elliott, wait, I'll just use this guy. So I'm looking for a pop, a lock, and drop it. Oh, what the heck? Come on. Get me dirty. Let's go pop, lock. And that's the move I'm looking for on Neo. Okay, the key levels there are going to be a move up to this doji, yesterday's doji at 37. I'm a little bit off on that. 36.95. So run to 36.95, a pullback to potentially 36.32 for a longer move to the upside. The algo is not really supporting that, or the algo is selling off. However, it's Lotto Friday. Contrarian, right? Moving averages are stacked. I mean, this looks good. Looks good long. Contrarian, if it does break down below pre-market lows at 35.92, then it can continue on just like it did yesterday. Fade, right? Fade. So keep an eye on it. None of this is advice, of course, you know that, right? Baba's a little bit more vertical to the downside. I think Baba's trying to make a move. Nope, let's go Baba. Trying to make a move to the upside. Nice consolidation overnight. It's got an opportunity to run to 170, right? It's currently trading at negative 5 ATR. It's way out there. So this is a good dip buy opportunity on Baba. I really don't believe a multi-billion-dollar company is going to go to zero. Just don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to keep Baba on my watch list. Key level, obviously, would be taking out some of yesterday's supply zone issues. Yeah. Similar to Neo, I'm going to look for it to pop, right? Drop and lock it up. It has made a higher low, and it's trying to make higher high overnight. So we're going to keep. All right. Myrna had some bad news, so we'll look at Myrna puts or calls. All right. Okay, that's Baba. All right, let me check out the chat real quick. All right. Apple and Nvidia. I feel like Apple is going to fade. Nvidia is going to continue its run from positive earnings. CVX, Disney. Let's check out CVX. Disney. Macy's for continuation. That would be nice. Let's see what we got here. Nvidia. All right, I'll check out Nvidia. That's the second one for Nvidia. Yeah, Neo is looking pretty decent. All right. Wow, the YM just ripped above the mid level. Unfortunately, when that happens in pre-market, we have a tendency to fade at the open. Yeah, it's a gap fade. So about 15 minutes, it'll start fading to fill the gap. There's a whole strategy around it. All right, CVX, which is Chevron. So bad news with crude, right? Obviously, we have a little bit of divergence here. I'm not liking this movement to the downside. It attempted to do a Wu-Tang pattern reversal, right? I gotta keep an eye on this level here. It's got a gap to fill. I don't know if it got rejected. So I ran up, touched it, came back down, and usually on this third move, it breaks through it. This is a rejection, so it's just going to pen it here for the day probably. The algo, like, that's range trading with the algo. So if crude can make a recovery like it's trying to do, then I believe it can move Chevron to the upside. I like that there's a gap that needs to be filled, right? You can't really see that, can you? Dang it. All right, I got to try to figure out what I can do because it's really hard for me to keep changing colors, right? I feel like it takes a lot of time. So let me see if I can figure out a better way to show what's going on my screen without having to change colors every second. Moving over to the right with Disney, I like how there's pretty evenly spaced dark pool and regular block trades. If you've never seen the combo, if I draw a white line, that's when there's a dark pool and a regular block trade. And for all of those people in Miami, listen, we know what white lines are in Miami. I guess this is the internet, or this is the stock market's version of Tony Montana when they drop a dark pool and a regular block trade at the same level. It could be. Regardless, I'll throw a white line on there. That's pretty significant. That means that there's a large influx in regular market orders and dark pool orders. So Disney's got one at 174.08. Look for that as resistance. Immediately below that, we've got 173 even as support. The algo is essentially trading with price action. Like the algo to continue its little uptrend that it's got going. All right, the algo has formed a wedge. We need that to break out and up and over. Then I'd be interested in going long. Until then, Disney may just continue to wedge and get tighter and tighter and tighter. Okay. Macy's algo's trading with price action. We had a block trade that came in at 2204. That is your resistance level. A break above 2204, and I think that based on the short interest and the all of the volume that's coming in on Macy's now, I like a break of that for continued long. 2041 is your support level. Excuse me, your block trade support level. Below that, then we come back, and I don't believe that the momentum is going to continue on. So those are my two levels for that. It's a $2 range. The algo is trading with price action, curled up. Right, nice strong uptrend. As far as chart pattern goes, it's making a parabolic move. Well, not really a parabolic move. It's making a basic 1, 2, 3 pattern. Right, so keep that on watch. NVIDIA, I've got to check out early. I'm streaming for the Bullish Bears today, so I got to get out of here in about 10 minutes. And, well, about 5 minutes so I can get that stream set up to go. NVIDIA. All right, so we've got a lot of dark pool levels on NVIDIA. 199.90 is going to be immediate resistance. Above that, 290, and then 201.30. So this is how that looks. There and here, we've got like a little dark pool cluster for support at 193.18. I doubt that we're going to come back down and visit that, but it is there to be aware of. Regular block trade levels are at 196.80. That's your support. And then 195 is your psychological support level as well. The algo is bearishly diverged, but it's trading with price action. So what that means is that the divergence that it initially had happened, the initial bearish divergence here, right, I believe is played out because it is now trading with price action, right? So keep an eye on this level here. Yeah, just so with price action doing this, it's either gonna continue to range trade, or it's gonna form a reversal, right? It's gonna form this reversal here. It's not gonna let me draw my last line. Sorry. Oh, it is. All right. So it may form that reversal there. If it breaks down below 196.80, right? So this is a little bit clearer, right? This is pretty normal. This is probably a 50% retracement or a 382 retracement for the continuation. I like NVIDIA. I think it's going to continue to move up. This bearish divergence is probably going to take a couple more days to play out. Sorry about that. All right, check this out, yo. Check it, check it. Check it, check it. Look at that massive move. Bunch of Wu-Tang pattern reversals, right? 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up. NQ's coming up to test that overhead support or overhead resistance right now. So it's either going to break through and then it's going to be another great day for tech, or it's going to pull back, and I would prefer a pullback. Bonds looks like they're trying to break its upward trendline support, right? So keep an eye on bonds. If bonds fall, then ES may rip. So I don't know what's up with this market, man. This is bananas, right? Bananas. Almost a 100-point move over, right? 100-point move in the last 10 minutes. So there's that trendline overhead resistance touch. See if it's actual resistance. Billy's made a $5 move overnight. Billy. All right, it gapped from 62.50 to 65.65. That's why I love Billy. It can do some things. Okay. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. Once again, my name is Darkpool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's 5:30 Pacific. If you have any requests, make sure you hit me up on Twitter and leave a comment section below. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. Really does help me out. Really does help me out. If you've got any requests, I will be doing a Saturday watch list. I know that some of y'all that are in the EchoFin group, I'm still trying to put together a training. I get up bright and early every Saturday morning and start looking through scans to try to find tickers for the week. It takes me about 3.5 hours in the morning, really. But it's worth it. I want everybody to succeed. So with that being said, have a great day. Stay safe, stay green. And as far as my favorite ones for the day go, I'm going to look at trying to snag some of this Baba movement. I believe Futu is going to also move this way. Right? Look at that. I think Futu is going to make a move. I hope it hits the 200 SMA overnight, and then we can make a move. Futu, Baba, Neo is another one I'm going to be looking at. Right, Neo for that move. Got to keep an eye. I've got a position in Roku, so hopefully Roku can get out of its own way. And then one of my personal favorites is Airbnb. All of these are going to move today. Okay, and then Shopify. All right, so NQ broke through that resistance level. Shopify, those are nice, strong Hulk candles, is what I call them. This is just an average pullback. Yeah, I don't know, Shopify. It's going to be as strong as like. So Roku, Baba, Futu, Neo, and Billy are going to be on my watch list, as well as PayPal. Right. I hope you can recognize that pattern there. That's pretty significant. Little squeeze, little exponential moving average squeeze that's taking place. PayPal has room to 275. Okay, gotta run. Thanks for joining me. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I really appreciate everybody showing up. If there's everything I can do for you, let me know. Wait, are you calling Wu-Tang Clan reversal? No, it's always going to be the Wu. Always going to be the Wu. Okay. But with Neo, it's probably easier to just... when I'm trying to show it, right, like this, it's easier for me to say pop, right, pop, lock, and drop. Right? It should be pop, lock, and rocket maybe, but it's always going to be the Wu-Tang reversal.